a Stern Sam driver board, and I forgot what game it was for, but the board was sent to me because the client had replaced the VNO2 at this location with a blue stripe on top, and yet column 4 was still inoperative, so he suspected one of the support chips was dead. Well, I used a logic probe on U9. It's a 74 HC 273, I believe, and it was fine. So what I eventually found was one of these tiny surface mount resistors like R133 in the center of the picture, which is 47 ohms and is tied to pin 1 of each of these VNO2s, had gone open. So rather than wait a long time and pay for shipping for this tiny part, I just scabbed a 47 ohm quarter watt resistor between ground and pin 1 of the VNO2. My first suspicion was that the VNO2 that the individual had purchased was counterfeit. It looked fine, and it does turn out to be fine, but there's a lot of counterfeit VNO2s around. So we are operating now, but let's do some more tests. You'll note that I have a White Star Harley-Davidson MPU driving this, and that works just fine. I guess let's test all the coils. Being a full service test provider here, be ashamed to send this thing back and find out later that one of the coil circuits was inoperative. This test panel is one that I made. It's based on a design that Mr. Victor, aka Dumbass, created, which was not based on a design, but very similar to a design for some of the homebrew stuff that I used to make. And we're down to the last 4 or 5. And all the coil circuits are operating. Here's where we test all the lamps. And we can see that all the lamps, including the previously defunct column 4, are operational. Flashers are a rehash of some of the coil circuits. Harley-Davidson just uses those bottom 8 drive circuits. And that is it. You can see the GI is being driven. This is my old style GI tester, just because I couldn't stretch my GI header down to where it is right now. But everything looks good on this board. This SAM board is really just a condensation or a shrinking of the White Star driver board. Interesting, I can see those LEDs. They seem to be blinking in the camera, but they are not blinking in real life. So a lot of this board is very familiar to anyone who's really worked on a White Star board before. So thank you, sir. I appreciate you sending it. By the way, I'll mention you did a nice job of replacing this VNO2. Solder was so good, it almost looked like factory, and I began to question whether or not that was in fact replaced. So well done on you, sir.